Hello everybody and welcome to this video. Today I'm going to be discussing what the recent news on Overwatch is. Let's see where there we go. Doomfist is sort of basically just been announced for everybody. So right here on screen you should see a little article of some sort from Blizzard. It says talent involvement confirmed in previous attack on Helix facility. So new details surfaced following major security breach in Umbani 3 months after initial reports of an incident at Helix Security International's classified maximum security installation. A more complete picture of what happened has emerged. Information and details of what happened were scarce, as has been any news from the installation, said to be a prison for the world's most dangerous threats. However, after recent events in Umbani, it can now be confirmed that what occurred was an attack by the Talon organization with the express purpose of freeing one man, Akande Ogundimu. I'm just going to call him Akande, better known as Doomfist. So before I keep reading on, I'm just going to cut back to the footage here. As you can see, we've already got 3 Doomfists here. One of their names is Adhabu Nigumi, Akinjide Adiyami. I'm probably butchering these names. So already we know it's not any of these two, the Savior or the Scourge. So my assumption is it the successor? Because of course these guys aren't Akande, unless the successor somehow gets the name of either of these two. Because we also see here Doomfist, Savior or Scourge. Does that mean that Doomfist has either been a bad guy and a good guy at some point? I don't know. It's sort of like up to speculation at this point, but I would have to say that the Doomfist is going to look somewhat like this in game, because I feel like the successor must be Akande, but of course he's not a good guy. He's evil. He was saved by, you know, Talon. I mean, we're gonna assume that he's evil, of course, because that's all we can really do. So will he end up being the Scourge? Is that what it means by Savior or Scourge? Is he going to be good or evil? I think we can sort of already point to him being a Scourge, but I don't know. It's kind of up to, let me know in the comments what you guys think about that, because I have a feeling like he's gonna sort of end up being like this. And the Doomfist actually looks more like this in the cinematic trailer compared to this. So I don't know if, since he now has the Doomfist again, is he going to make a little upgrade to it? Who knows? But let's go back and read to it. So it began in the early hours of the morning when an unidentified aircraft approached the facility. Security initially reported that the craft had no passengers on board based on radar scans. The craft passed through the range of the installation's defense systems without incident, leading some to believe that Talon has moles within Helix. Video surveillance from within the compound revealed a black shadowy figure emerging from the craft and descending upon the prison grounds. The unidentified assailant easily overcame the Helix security agents, leaving over a dozen dead. Medical records of the casualties reveal injuries and cellular degeneration matching other incidents involving the mercenary known as the Reaper, all but confirming the incursion as a Talon attack. So, of course, Reaper has finally been successful in trying to do something. So Helix officials have been unwilling to reveal whether or not there were additional escapees or items taken from the facility, but sources have indicated that it is likely that there were further security breaches in addition to Akande, which is Doomfist. After escaping the facility, Helix lost track of Akande until he resurfaced in Umbani, where he clashed with the newly introduced OR-15 defense robots at the Galvez International Terminal, easily destroying them and reclaiming the Doomfist. Questions have been raised about the effectiveness and methodology of Helix, which in recent years has greatly increased its profile as a world security force. But after a number of high-profile incidents, including the breach of a similarly top-secret facility in Egypt, those who have objected to the increased privatization, I'm really good at reading, guys, of security following the shuttering of Overwatch will have been dismayed that Helix has requested and been granted additional funding by the UN to cope with the rising threats. So pretty interesting so far. Basically what's going on here is Talon is, you know, of course, releasing all these bad guys, obviously trying to kill a bunch of Overwatch agents here, but you know, since Overwatch is gone, I think Helix here, this little security thing, the security like company, I would like to say more, instead of like a group. I think it's like more of a company, has been not doing so hot, and I think with this, the resurface of Overwatch agents, because this is current time, so I think the re-edition of Overwatch agents is going to be coming soon. I'm almost willing to say that the next PvE event is going to be an Overwatch mission, with all the Overwatch agents coming back together. Like Soldier meets up with Anna, and we have Pharah join in, and it's someone, let's say someone new like Orisa joins in as well for like a PvE experience against Talon. I feel like that would be super interesting to see, although I don't know, but I'm almost positive that Doomfist is going to be this person right here, the successor. And I can't see him being the savior, because of course with the savior, you sort of just assume that this person was probably a good person. But of course, at the moment, I just can't see that being true. I feel like with how he's been, you know, terrorizing Numbani, I think it's without a doubt that we're going to see this Doomfist being not so good and pretty evil. Of course, the Doomfist is stolen here; it's gone. And if we go over here, we can still see that the OR-15 bots have been destroyed. But of course, it's all up to speculation. It's Tuesday, so we all expected Doomfist to be, come here. But of course, one thing that's also interesting is on the Reddit, a lot of people have been saying that this is a little bit of a weird wording for them. I'm gonna pull it up here for you guys. Let's see if I can find it. So the part about Akande fighting OR-15 bots is interesting. He easily overwhelmed them before he reclaimed the Doomfist. So already you can sort of like kind of gauge that Doomfist is, without even the Doomfist, Akande is extremely strong. He is very strong to be able to do this without the Doomfist, because I think before we had all just assumed that he had the Doomfist at this point. But I think we can, it's without a doubt that he does not have it at this point. But it's kind of crazy, unless he got the Doomfist and came back and destroyed it. Maybe it's just bad wording. Maybe they didn't write it out correctly in the article. But I feel like that's not. It's not really too true. I don't think that's right. We can also assume that Akande Doomfist is Nigerian. Akande is a Yoruba name meaning firstborn, and Ogundimu is a relatively common Nigerian surname. Since the Yoruba are from Nigeria, it's a safe bet to say that Doomfist is Nigerian. So it's kind of interesting to think that why did they name him Akande, which obviously means firstborn in Yoruba. Or Yoruba, I don't really know if I'm pronouncing that right. I'm sorry if I'm butchering anything. It's kind of interesting because if he's firstborn, I almost want to say, is it possible that these guys just could have had easily changed their names? I mean, it's not the first time we've had, kind of issues with naming in Overwatch. Like, we still don't even know Sombra's real name, and I don't think we'll ever find out. It's sort of an interesting little theory that the savior could have turned into the Scourge, and now they're back to the successor. I don't know. There's just so many different things we can gauge from this little article, but we'll have to wait and see. Doomfist is definitely going to be coming around, and I'm very, very excited, of course, wanting a new hero in a little while, because honestly, Orisa was not a huge fan of Orisa, and I still am not too convinced. I think she's a great hero, but at first it was a little shaky. So I'm hoping that Doomfist is a ton of fun. I don't know whether on abilities, I have no idea what to really expect. I think he can even be anywhere from an offense hero to a tank. I don't think I can see him being a support. As for defense hero, it's kind of hard to say whether or not he'll be a defense hero, as it's just with him being so powerful, it almost just doesn't make too much sense for him to be not a tank or an offense hero. But of course, this is all speculation. And one thing also I wanted to discuss is, of course, his name is Doomfist. So is he going to be running around like Reinhardt with his just fists and he's just going to be punching people in the face? I don't know. Because if that's the case, he must have some sort of movement ability, because otherwise he's just going to be running into, you know, running around and just dying a lot. But we'll have to see. Hope you guys are excited for Doomfist. Let me know in the comments what your theories are and speculations are. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. And I will be doing a live stream later on today on this channel. So if you are new and you like playing custom games, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and hope you guys can join us for some custom game fun.